Hi guys, and welcome to episode 2 of Simon Talks Life. In this episode, I am going to be talking about actors. It's a bit vague. Actors, I will explain, while opening a box of the 40th anniversary. Now, I recognise obviously with me opening these boxes, the conversations aren't going to be as long. It's not going to take as long. There's only 6 packets in here. I will not be opening the figurines that come in these. Don't have any interest in them. Just the packets of cards only. So, I suppose when I mean by actors, and it does follow on quite nicely from the first episode, but when I mean by actors, I mean the actors that I'd probably like to meet. Now, there aren't many of them, if I'm being honest, and it is sort of something that changes over the months and the years. You know, as time passes, you like certain actors more than other actors. Actors that you used to like, you don't like as much anymore. You know, you get that, right? You get that. So, and it does follow on well from the movies motif that I was discussing not long ago. So, actors I would like to meet. I mean, for myself. Really, like, obviously I would like to meet, I mean for me really, I would obviously like to meet Peter Cullen, Frank Welker, the original voice actors. There wasn't the kind of actors I was thinking about I would be talking about in this video, but obviously to meet either of those two, for example, would be fantastic for someone like me. Really just phenomenal stuff, you know. I don't see them ever coming out to Australia though. That's a bit of a shame for me. But I mean, that's how it goes, isn't it? Really. And I could never afford to fly over to the United States, for example. Not you've seen how much money I spend on trading cards. You know, I'm not going anywhere, mate. You know, so okay, that's cool. Let's just get these out. So yeah, actors I would like to meet. Frank Welker and Peter Cullen, definitely. But outside of that, I suppose I was obviously thinking live action actors when I sort of formulated the topic. Now, you've got your usual suspects. I say usual suspects. The actor I would have liked to have met most of all, I say met because obviously this actor died a few years ago, was Bill Paxton. Now, obviously, very much related to my what I said before about Bill Paxton in Aliens. I thought he was terrific as Hudson. I would have liked to have met him, but obviously, he did die in that operation. That's obviously a shame. You know, I was really gutted at that. You know. But, you know, this is what happens, isn't it, really? Look, that's life, isn't it? None of it really means anything. But I would have liked to have met Bill Paxton, but, yeah, as you know. And so, look, I wouldn't mind, I suppose, meeting, like, if I'm going to be, you know, I think with actors you need to separate any opinion you might have of their personal life from their ability to act, you know. Look, I'd like to meet. I mean, Matt Damon would sort of be okay to meet. I wouldn't mind meeting him, because I liked him very much. I like him in most of the things. What am I doing? I don't turn these over. I like him very much in most of the things that he does. I like the Bourne series. You know, Bourne Supremacy, Bourne Identity, Bourne Supremacy, Bourne Ultimatum, and then obviously they did Jason Bourne. They're good movies, they really are, you know. I would like to meet him because of that. He does that obviously very well. A lot of it's choreographed and all of that kind of stuff, you know, so he is just an actor in the traditional sense, but I would like to meet him, you know. But again, like, it's funny how your opinion of these things changes as you go by. More recently, I wouldn't mind meeting Tom Cruise. Now, I don't particularly like him. I wouldn't say I was particularly fond of him over the years. But one of the reasons I think was because I do respect the fact that here's a guy who does his own stunts, and obviously he's big on practical effects. Now, I feel inclined to mention that because of obviously what I was saying before about in my previous episode about the use of CGI. You know, when you've got a guy who's actually going to be dangling off the side of a plane, for example, or physically doing his own stunts, like you've got to respect that, regardless of what you think about the direction of his personal life or anything like that. And again, you could argue, okay, look, he's a well-known celebrity and all, but that's his business. Now, obviously, I'm aware there are other actors that are at the top of their craft. When it comes to acting performances, like I do like Michael Douglas, as I mentioned in The American President, but Tom Hanks is also one of the world's better actors. He really is. I mean, he's phenomenal, really. That ability to pull off something that appears so genuine, like you would almost like that's really happening to them. It is obviously impressive, and actors like Tom Hanks do deserve to be recognised for being masters of their craft in that regard. They really do. Again, this wasn't going to be a quick video because it's the 40th anniversary. Yeah, I was gutted, but Bill Paxton died, though. I'll be honest, I would have liked to have met him, I really would. I thought he was great in everything he did, really. Twister that he did was also obviously very good. I suppose, yeah, look, as far as me opening boxes of the 40th anniversary is concerned, I've got everything but other USRs and then the XRs that I'm still chasing, obviously, more copies of. So look, I'm not going to dwell on any of these for length because these LGRs, these CRs, they are CRs, aren't they? I've had them all for some time. So yeah, let me know who you'd like to meet. If you'd like to meet any, I suppose I should mention actresses really, because it does seem a bit like, God, Simon, what are you talking about all fellas for? But if as a man, I don't know, maybe I gravitate more toward sort of male actors. I don't know, really. I suppose the fact that I wouldn't really, whether that reflects well on me or not, I don't know. But I wouldn't say there were necessarily any female actors I'd particularly like to meet. Sorry, ladies. I suppose it is what it is. Really, it's neither here nor there. I'm not suggesting that the ladies can't bring phenomenal performances. Like I said, Annette Bening in The American President was brilliant, but not necessarily an actress that I would like to meet, if I'm being honest. Well, that was it, really. Short and sweet, really. This has been episode 2 of Simon Talks Life, where I've opened a box of 40th anniversary Kayou Transformers trading cards while talking about actors I'd like to meet. Not a worry at all. Thank you for watching, anyone who's watching and listening to me ramble. I do ramble well, don't I? And catch up with me soon for episode 3.